repairing the touch pad of a Kenmore Elite refrigerator. You can see that the model number is called Kenmore Cold Spot 106.51172.310. And it was made in 2013, so it's a fairly old refrigerator, over 10 years old. But the problem was we have a touchpad down there that activates the ice and water, but what happens you would fill up your ice water and use the touchpad for the water, and then you would turn away for a little bit, and then all of a sudden the water would start running out again. And of course, the quickest way of stopping that is open your refrigerator door and the water would stop. Of course, now what are you going to do? One thing you could do is switch the button or the feature to ice, and that'll deactivate it. The other thing also you might want to do, if that's the problem, is to lock your refrigerator dispenser to the lock feature there. And you know, the kid can't mess with it. We had a lot of grandkids around, so that was one way of deactivating it. Now you'll notice I don't have the touchpad on there because I removed it, and I'll show you that later. But I'll show you why the touchpad did not work anymore and actually would run on its own. So that was kind of unsettling, because you don't want your water dispensing in the middle of the night all night long. And I'll show you what the issue was with that. This is the old touchpad. It's white. You'll see what it looks like. And it's an assembly which will hook on to the refrigerator. And this one has been disassembled, which I don't recommend. I was trying to figure out why it wasn't working, and it's kind of hard to see, but it's got 4 little arms that are actually springs. And if you look at, I was able to take this apart. Of course, I broke these little tabs to get it off. There's probably a better way of doing that. And you'll see these little springs right here. There's one there. There's one there that's broken. The one at the top is completely broken too. And there's another one that's totally missing. So those springs are what allow the touchpad to push against the red button that activates the water or the ice. And that red button touches this little point there in the touchpad. So when you press from the outside, the springs will allow it to depress down. And when you release the touchpad, the springs, the plastic, is supposed to push it back out to deactivate that little button from that pushing on the red button. And those little pieces of plastic springs are broken, like the one on ours. That would cause the assembly to push against that little button there, or the activating button there, that little piece of plastic there by my finger. And that would just the slightest little touch would activate the flow of the water or the ice. In most cases, the water, that's the one that's normally on. So that was the problem with this touchpad. The new one, I ordered a new one from applianceparts.pros. The only one they had available was black. And if you notice, the little springs are all there, and they're depressed against the black backing. There's one there, and one over there. So you have 4 of them. And you notice this thing was made in 2014. It's really not a very good design. but I'm stuck with. I mean, this part may be hard to get. There may be a way of repairing it, but if you ever take this button assembly off, you're going to have 4 tabs on each side, and that's what a tab looks like there. There's one there, there's one here that's broken, and one there. You can get it off, but you probably have to use, I would recommend use 4 little screwdrivers, something like this, and you'll push it in there, push it in there, push it in there, push it in there, maybe 4 of them or 2 of them, and very carefully pop it off if you wanted to try to do that. The only reason you might want to do that, if you can't find the part, you might be able to put in some metal springs or something to do the same job as the plastic ones. Well, anyway, it comes as an assembly. You see this is what is hooked up to inside your ice maker, or your control pad assembly, which I'll show you how to take off. So that's, in this case, it's black, but I'm happy to be able to find one. It's all complete. So if we replace it, I'm pretty sure I will be able to use the ice maker again. Again, what the springs look like, there's only one that's working, this one right here. My thumb, that one is still good. That one you can see is broken. That one's completely broken. And that one's partially broken. One of them I broke taking this thing off, but the other 2 are not on there, and that's why this thing was not working properly. There's a red button there that activates the switch. Yeah, the first thing you want to do is pop off the little plate. This little plate just pops off. It's going to be dirty. Sometimes the water will collect in this other plate below it. And once you pop that off, you can slide this out. And once you slide it out, you want to get a little Phillips screwdriver, and there's 2 screws in here that you can remove. And it may be possible to do this repair without removing this, but these are probably really dirty and scummy. If you had a lot of water collecting, it's a good time to clean it all out. The next thing we want to do is to remove a piece down below. That helps. Also, we need to do that to remove the control panel to get access to the wiring. This control panel touchpad unit is all one unit. You don't want to pry it off around the sides. It detaches from below, which you'll see. But first we have to remove a piece down below. Yeah, the piece down below has got 2 1/4-inch hex nuts, which we'll remove. And once we do that, we'll just pull this piece off, which will get us access to the control panel, which we need to remove next. I have a 1/4-inch hex nut socket that I'll use to remove the hex nuts. You notice I didn't unplug the refrigerator for this repair. And that's a little plastic piece that just comes off. Next step is to pop out the control panel. There's 2 little tabs. Stick your screwdriver right up in there. And it popped right out. There's 2 of them, one on each side. I'll just put a little piece of tape here to make sure it doesn't fall off. You notice that I have it locked, so if you accidentally hit a button, no water is going to flow. It won't do it anyway because this touchpad is gone, unless you hit this dispense water button. Again, this is all one unit. You don't want to take it apart. So the next step is to get this bottom piece out. And we need all that extra room. This little funnel you can pop out. There's little tabs here and here to clean it, which I did, but I'm going to leave it in. See if I don't have to remove it again. And this piece just got little tabs that you just push up with your hands. Oh. Hang on a second. To release this section here, there's two other hex nuts or hex screws you gotta remove. And that should loosen up this section here. Yeah, see now that's actually all one unit. So you want to lift this up and these tabs will release. And it pops right out. And you can see these tabs that slide in. There's little pieces of metal along here that these pieces slide over. Here you can see the little tabs, pieces of metal that the tabs slide over to secure it on both sides. And we didn't have to remove this funnel. Here you take the harness and you put it through the backing plate. And the pad is going to attach with 3 clips. There's one at the top and 2 at the bottom that slide over their corresponding slots. And there's also a little light that's going to be on one of the exposed slots. It's going to slide through. Just be careful doing all that. And once you get it lined up, just slide it on. You'll see the clips come down a little bit and secure the pad of ice maker pad to the backing plate. They're going to attach that wire up through to get to the control panel above it. Yeah, the next step is to run the wire up and plug it into the control panel. Control panels like so. Snap it in like that. And there is where the touchpad assembly harness wire is plugged into right here. So you have to pull it, push it through and work it up. Yeah, the next part is to get this back plate put in. It's got to go in underneath the ice cube funnel tray right here and up and back. And all these tabs got to be in. Got to be high enough to be able to clear. Okay, they're all in. Oops, put that bottom one down there. You see the wires running up here on the side, up to the control panel. And that's good. So everything's connected. And I can snap the control panel in. You'll see these black tabs right here. Those go up into the refrigerator door. You can see that again. They go up in. And you simply push the control panel in where the tabs are, and it should just snap in. There's not a wire in the way. That one's not going in for some reason. There we go. Yeah, you can see the picture of the clip right there that goes into that slot that we popped out on both sides. You don't want to break those if you can avoid it. There, it's secured. And you reinstall the back plate screws. Phillips. Now we want to put this bottom piece back. Right? Yeah, it's got to slide along these tabs to match up with these little bracket things. And this thing comes in. That's what you must after you've cleaned that out. That's good. There we go. See if it works. Alright, let's see if it works. Let's unlock it. Let's get some ice. Alright, let's switch the touchpad to water. It works. Turn it off. And it shouldn't start running again because that touchpad has been repaired with the 4 new springs. It keeps it pushed out, so it keeps it away from the button. It won't activate unless it's pushed. So it looks like I fixed it.